There are 7 ways the ultra-rich hide their wealth in plain sight. Most of them are completely legal. All of them are infuriating. And the last one, I promise, will genuinely make your jaw drop. We're talking underground, reinforced, temperature-controlled, biometric-locked bunkers that cost more than your entire neighborhood. But we're not starting there. We're starting where most rich people start, small, quiet, boring on purpose. Because the smartest money in the world doesn't flash, it hides, and it hides better than you think. Level 1, the bedroom shelf. Don't laugh, this is real. And it's more common than anyone admits. High net worth individuals, not the billionaires, the merely very rich, stash physical cash, gold coins, and collectibles inside their own homes. Not in safes bolted to floors. That's too obvious. We're talking false wall panels. We're talking hollowed out books. We're talking vacuum-sealed currency tucked inside children's toy boxes. Why? Because banks report large transactions. Cash doesn't. It just sits there. Quietly, not earning interest, not drawing attention, not generating a paper trail that some regulator somewhere might find interesting at 3 in the morning. Tax attorney wouldn't call it smart. They'd call it a starting point. Level 2 is the garage. And here's where it starts getting interesting. A car collection isn't just a hobby. It's a portfolio. A 1967 Ferrari 275 GTB bought for $800,000 in 2011 sold for $3.1 million in 2021. That's not passion. That's arbitrage. Cars stored in private climate-controlled garages don't appear on standard financial disclosures. They're personal property. They're insured privately, and in many jurisdictions, they're taxed at a fraction of their actual market value. You want to hide $2 million? Buy a Porsche 918, park it, don't drive it, wait, the car appreciates. The documentation stays thin, and when you sell, you call it a private transaction. Simple, legal, infuriating. Level 3, the storage unit, but not the kind you're picturing. Not the orange rolling door with your old mattress inside. We're talking private, third-party storage facilities in states with no personal property tax. Nevada, Delaware, Montana. Wealthy families rent entire climate-controlled units stacked floor to ceiling with wine, jewelry, watches, and fine art prints. Nothing digital, nothing traceable through normal channels. One facility manager in Scottsdale estimated that a single unit valued at $4,000 a year in rent holds assets worth upward of $4 million. He said it with a straight face. He said he sees it every week. The IRS technically requires disclosure. Technically. Level 4 is climate-controlled vault storage. This is where the money starts getting serious. Private vault facilities like Brinks, Malka Amit, and Viamat operate in cities like Geneva, Singapore, and Luxembourg specifically because those jurisdictions ask very few questions. You ship in a crate, they store it, nobody inspects the contents. A family office in London once described it this way: you're not storing assets. You're parking them at a hotel that has never had a robbery and doesn't offer room service. These vaults hold gold bars, bearer bonds, and physical currency in denominations that most people have never touched. The fees are low. The privacy is total, and the legal framework protecting them was built by governments who understood exactly what they were protecting. What's particularly efficient about this model is the jurisdictional arbitrage. A client withdraws funds in a high-tax country, moves them through London or Singapore, and deposits them in a jurisdiction with banking secrecy laws that predate the internet. By the time anyone's paperwork catches up, the money has already been subdivided into smaller accounts across multiple countries. The paper trail exists. It's just so deliberately fragmented that following it would require simultaneous cooperation from governments that have no interest in cooperating. It's a legal Rube Goldberg machine built entirely on the principle that bureaucracy moves slower than money. Level 5. Luxury car storage facilities, different from your personal garage, very different. These are purpose-built campuses where high-net-worth clients store fleets under one managed roof. Think Canepa in California. Think the facilities in Dubai, where owners store hypercars they visit once a year. The cars stay registered in favorable states. Maintenance is handled discreetly. Insurance is bundled and obscured. But here's the part nobody talks about. Some of these facilities function as informal private marketplaces. Owners trade cars between themselves on site. No dealership, no auction house, no public record. A $2 million Bugatti changes hands in a handshake and a wire transfer that gets categorized as a private vehicle sale. Capital gains implications: minimal. Enforcement: almost non-existent. Level 6, fine art storage. This one has its own ecosystem, and that ecosystem was built specifically to obscure money. The Freeport model is the core of it. A Freeport is a bonded custom zone, usually attached to an airport where goods can enter, be stored, even be sold, without ever officially entering the country. The Geneva Freeport holds an estimated 1.2 million pieces of artwork. Modigliani's, Picasso's, Basquiat's. They sit in individual locked rooms under pseudonymous holding company names. Some haven't moved in 30 years. The owners have changed 6 times. Nobody paid import tax. Nobody paid capital gains. And technically, some of those paintings were never legally owned by anyone you could publicly identify. The art newspaper called it a black hole for wealth. They weren't being dramatic. Now here's the layer under the art storage that most people miss entirely. Valuation. Art has no fixed price. A painting worth $400,000 today can be appraised at $2 million tomorrow if you find the right appraiser and the right auction result to justify it. Wealthy collectors donate inflated valuation artwork to museums and claim charitable deductions worth 3 or 4 times what they paid. The IRS has challenged this strategy repeatedly. In 2014, they recovered $3 billion in disallowed deductions from art-related tax schemes. In 2019, they recovered more, and yet the practice continues because for every closed loophole, 3 new ones open. The lawyers are faster than the regulators. They've always been faster. The art world's advantage, which distinguishes it from almost every other wealth-hiding mechanism, is plausible deniability through complexity. An appraiser and a collector can genuinely disagree on value in ways that feel legitimate, even when both parties understand they're participating in a choreographed valuation dance. A banker moving money illicitly is committing a crime. But an appraiser providing a professional opinion based on comps, condition, and market sentiment, that's just business. The IRS can challenge individual transactions, but challenging the foundational premise that art valuation is inherently subjective is like trying to regulate opinion itself. So the system endures. Between the art facilities and the bunkers, there's a middle tier most people don't talk about. Private island storage, offshore compound storage. Wealthy families in the Caribbean and Pacific build residential compounds with attached private warehouses, completely legal under local law. Nobody from the mainland is knocking on those doors. Gold, wine, hard currency, physical documents, collectibles, all sitting in a building that's technically a residential outbuilding on a private estate. The estate is owned by a trust. The trust is registered in a jurisdiction where trust documents are sealed by default. You ask, who owns it? The answer is technically a Cayman Islands LLC formed by a Liechtenstein Foundation managed by a Panama-registered law firm. Good luck with that. Now, level 7. The underground bunkers, and I told you this one would get you. These aren't survivalist shelters for conspiracy enthusiasts. These are engineered vaults built under private estates, corporate campuses, and luxury residential developments specifically to store and protect physical wealth outside of any institutional system. Vivo's X Point in South Dakota offers individual bunkers starting at $25,000. But that's the bargain basement. The ultra high-end builds are custom. We're talking reinforced concrete poured 6 to 12 feet thick, biometric access, dehumidification systems, seismic isolation mounts to protect fragile assets from ground vibration, HEPA filtration, independent power. Some have their own server rooms for cold storage cryptocurrency wallets. They cost between $3 million and $50 million to build. And there are more of them than anyone is publicly admitting. One real estate developer in New Zealand who has sold land to several Silicon Valley billionaires for exactly this purpose described his clients as people who don't trust the system they built. That's the part that should keep you up at night. These aren't old money aristocrats who grew up distrusting government. These are the people who own the platforms, the banks, the data. They built the digital economy. They understand it completely. And their conclusion after seeing all of it from the inside was to pour concrete over their savings and put them underground. That tells you something. What exactly? I'll leave to you. The bunker builders, the Freeport curators, the Freeport lawyers, the car fleet managers, all of them will tell you the same thing when pressed. This is legal wealth preservation. This is responsible stewardship. This is just asset protection. And they're not entirely wrong. Most of what I described exists inside the letter of the law. That's not an accident. The laws were written by people who either had these assets or were paid by people who did. The bedroom shelf was just the beginning. The bunker is where it ends. And somewhere between the two, about $8.7 trillion in private wealth sits completely invisible to any government on Earth. Not hidden exactly, just stored, very, very carefully stored. Follow Apex 7 for more. Apex 7.